اللهم افتح لي فيه أبواب فضلك وأنزل علي فيه بركاتك ووفقني فيه لموجبات مرضاتك وأسكنني فيه بحبحات جناتك يا مجيب دعوة المضطرين. اے معبود، آج کے دن میرے لیے اپنے کرم کے دروازے کھول دے، اس میں مجھ پر اپنی برکتیں نازل فرما، اس میں مجھے اپنی رضاؤں کے ذرائع اختیار کرنے کی توفیق دے، اور اس میں مجھ کو مرکز بہشت میں سکونت عنایت فرما. اے بے قرار لوگوں کی دعائیں قبول فرما.
اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. الحمدللہ رب العالمین والصلاة والسلام علی سیدنا و نبینا حبیب الہ رب العالمین ابی القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلیہ الطیبین الطاہرین المعصومین المظلومین ولعنۃ الدائم علی اعدائہم اجمعین من الان الی قیام یوم الدین. اما بعد فقد قال رسول اللہ فی دعائه اللهم افتح لي في أبواب فضله وأنزل علي في بركاتك ووفقني في لموجبات مرضاتك وأسكني في بحبوحات جناتك يا مجيب الدعوات المضطرين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Taqabbal Allah amalakum. The dua of the 21st. In this dua we are asking, O Allah, Allahumma aftah li fi abwab fadlik. Open the doors of your fadl, of your honor, and also the doors of the barakah, blessings. Wa anzil alayya fi barakatik. On this day make the barakat descend, the blessing descend on us. And also we ask for mujibat ridak, the ways by which, or the reasons through which your pleasure descends. See, I have to do something, this doing good, the reaction of this doing good is the descent of your pleasure. So, O Allah, I do something good today by which your pleasure should descend from the heaven. O Allah, today make that barakah descend from the heaven. O Allah, open the door of fadl for me. We are asking these things from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today. And then it doesn't stop here. It says that make us live wa askinni fi. Make us live in where? In jannatika, in that jannah, in that sort of paradise, right? Which is actually, there is jannat and there is jannat. Jannatin tajri min tahti al-anhar, as we recite in the Quran. There is jannat and there is jannat. Jannat is a plural of jannat. So when you say jannat, means a plural. Inna alladhina amanu wa aminu salihat kanat lahum jannatun firdaus nuzulan. So it is jannat, which is a pleasure, which means folds and folds. There's a lot of sort of different folds of Jannah for that individual, for that person. So we ask for that. So these are the 5 things. And then, the last one. These are the 4 is Jannat. And then it says, Ya mujib ad-da'watil muftarreen. And we also ask today for the acceptance of our dua. So we are asking 5 things. 1 is abwabul fadl. Number 2 is barakat. Number 3 is mujibat al-rida. And number 4 is Jannat. And number 5 is the acceptance of our dua. See, everyday dua tend to point out to different aspects of that day fast, and also different sort of, good things that we seek. you know, this is really the barakah and blessing of Ramadan. Like if you go to a store, there are a lot of goodies there, a lot of good things are there. So you want to grab, you just don't want to fill your basket with apples only, but you want to take different types of fruits. And Prophet ﷺ is introducing us to different types of, there is barakah, there is jannat, there is rida, there is, fadl, there is dua, acceptance of dua. Like for example, previously we tend to point it out to, for example, the closing of the doors of hell, so on and so forth. So when we go to a big place where there are a lot of good things, we take different things, and these du'as really help us understand the different phenomena and the different realities that are there. Now, as been mentioned in very beautiful hadith which comes from Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, the Prophet Nabi, he says that one day God wanted to show one of the pleasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wanted to show His pleasure. And then he says, O Musa, ای موسا هرگاه که بیچارگان و مسکینان را دوست داری و از ستمگران بیزاری، این دوستی و دشمنی حساب شده تو نشانه خوشنودی و رضا. He says, every time, O Musa, when you feel for the miskin, those who are in need, the needy, those who are poor, if you feel for them and you seek that their issues will be resolved, and you are in friendship with them, and you are upset and disappointed with those who are oppressors, those who oppress, those who do zulm, then this means that you are acquiring the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, being friends with the needy and the poor, and detesting those who are the oppressors. This points out to, in a hadith, the alamat of rida, a person who will have that pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then, as this also points out to barakat and abwab al-fadl, which we have dealt with in the previous dua, we will focus a bit more on the istijabat of dua. Now, there are different ways of conditions by which the dua is accepted. Number one is considered by ma'rifat. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, nad'u fala yustajabu lana, nad'u, seek, but it will not be accepted, because the reason, tad'u man la ta'arifuna, because you're seeking without ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If there is ma'rifat, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will istajab, will accept it, right? Or amal salih, when a person performs amal salih, ad-da'i bila amalin kal rami bila vitr, as it says, like a person who kind of seek something from Allah without amal salih, there will be no result. It will not, the dua will not be accepted for him. He has to do righteous act in order for it to. Seeking halal. When a person is seeking halal and eating halal, then his dua, man ahabba, his Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love, yustajabu dua, will accept his dua, fal yutayyib mat'amahu wa maksabahu. The ta'am and kasb. Kasb means what he is working, basically the kasb ma'ash, to really seek, to really get. So this is what. If that is, is good, then halal, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept. Presence of the heart when we are seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La yaqbalu Allahu azza wa jal da'a qalb as-sa'a. Allah will not accept the dua which does not have that heart concentration, that huzur, that presence. Now, there are other ways as well been pointed out, like for example, reciting salawat before the dua, reciting salawat at the end of the dua, then the dua will be accepted. Seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim or by Allahumma, because by taking the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the beginning, Now, what really restricts our dua is the sins of a person. When a person commits a sin, his dua is not accepted. When a person does zulm, his dua is not accepted. When a person is in haste, that he wants the dua to be accepted very quick. For example, he seeks something, he wants the next minute, oh, it's ready, it's there. No, one have to really be patient. There could be many hidden reasons behind for a person not to accept, his duas not to be accepted. See, there are three categories of people. There are one category who do not believe in God completely. Okay, number one. The other category is people who believe in God but do not believe in some of the commands of God or the way God acts, for example. And the third category of people are those who believe in God and at the same time is radhi, is agreed with whatever God have said and whatever God have destined or whatever ahkam God have given. Now, the second category of people are those who accepts God, but sometimes they say that, oh, this is zulm. What zulm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udhu billah, have done? Or one will not accept, well, I accept the Quran, but in regards to, for example, hijab, I don't accept that. Or in regards to distribution of heritage, I don't accept that. Some of those things a person do not really accept, which is in the Quran or which is in the teachings of Islam, for example. Or for example, a person will say that, oh Allah, what zulm you have done, you have given me this sort of illness or whatever. No, na'udhu billah, that's not the case, because Allah is wise. Allah is always wants some good for all mu'mineen, for all of his creation. Now, if he faces something that is not sort of pleasing for that person, doesn't mean that Allah is doing zulm, na'udhu billah. It's like, for example, a child who wants to play with a sharp knife because he really likes it, or wants to play with scissors. Like, children, they like to play with. Now, there is a scissor which is automatic, for example, and a scissor which is very sharp, for instance. If you give to a child, it's very attractive and he might cut himself. So obviously, you will not give that. And the child will be crying, will be very upset, but as a matter of fact, you want better for that child. So the same way, in regards to whatever Allah destines, one have to be radhi. That's why we ask in the dua of Abu Hamza Somali in the month of Ramadan, in the end, that, Allah, give me an imanu tubashiru bi qalbi, an iman that I feel your presence very close to me all the time, in pains, in difficulties, in joy. Or for example, if you look at the dua in Rajab, we tend to ask, Allahumma inni as'aluka sabru shakireen. Like, we are seeking a type of sabr which is of shakireen. You see people, for example, ulama, we have heard, like they were suffering. There was this great alim been mentioned that he had a stroke and then he was paralyzed. He was very old, and they asked him, in what state are you in? He says, Alhamdulillah, shukranillah. It can't be better than this. Although he's in a state on bed, his hands are not functioning, he is paralyzed, right? So he says, in the time of Musa alayhi salam, Musa asked Allah, oh Allah, show me an individual who is the greatest of all worshippers, Abid, the best of Abid. So God said, okay, gave him the address, go here, go there, and then finally he goes there and he sees a person who cannot walk, who have albino disease. You know, albino is like spots on the face, right? And he also is a leper, you know, leprosy, you know, and he's paralyzed. He cannot move his hands, you know, flies sitting on him, and he cannot do anything about it, right? Then first Musa came here and he says that, oh, you know, is this the Abed Tareen? You know, this is what then Jibrail came and he said that, yes, you know, he is it. And God right now have given command to the angel to take away his eyesight. So in that state, eyesight was taken away. As soon as the eyesight takes away, he looks at the heavens, shukran lillah. He thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that as well. Musa was shocked. Musa said, how come? He said, well, you know, why should I not be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because in the village that I am living in, it is only me who have the ma'rifat of God. Basically, I am the one who worship. I am the one who is a muwahid. Other people, they worship idols or they are non-believers. But God have provided me with His ma'rifat, with His knowledge. So, I may not have my eyes, I may not be, you know, good looking, you know, or whatever, you know, I'm suffering, I'm paralyzed, but I could speak. But more than that, you know, what he meant was that I am someone who've been given the ma'rifat of God, which is the greatest, that none of these people in the village have it, but only I have it. So how shall I not be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Then Musa said that, yes, you know, this man is really the one who truly worship, who is Abed Tareen, who is the most sort of, the best and the greatest of all worshippers. So basically, in terms of the dua, when we are seeking, when we are asking, one should not haste, or one should not say that, oh, if this doesn't happen, I'm not going to believe in God. If this doesn't happen, I'm not going to pray. For example, we tend to see, you know, there is some sort of adab, like as we said, saying Bismillah, Salawat, Tawakkul, you know, all of these things are very important in regards to the acceptance of dua. Now, here we also mention about the prayers which we always tell in the end of our program, and that is, whosoever recites on the 22nd, on the 22nd in the month of Ramadan, 8 rakat prayers, the doors of heaven for him will be open, and he could enter from these doors, whichever door he likes. So if we are seeing there is some sort of consecutive 8 rakat prayers with any surahs for the past almost 3 nights, which is of the ibadat, which is extra. So maybe because these are the last nights, and the nights of Qadr have its own amal, so we don't really see, for example, 50 rakat or 100 rakat or 50 times Qul Wallahu Ahad. We just tend to see a very short amal being given to us. Inshallah, we hope that our ibadat, our fast, our du'as are accepted in this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all your marhumin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all mu'mineen and mu'minat, as we are in the end of the month of Ramadan. It is very important to really pray for forgiveness for tamam, for all mu'mineen and mu'minat, for rectification of the affairs of Muslims, for unity, for shifa of marda, giving of fulfillment of hajat. It's only few days remaining, and we should really seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His forgiveness and His pleasure, and also remember the shuhada, remember the marhumin, remember those who have right upon us. Many people have done us favors, many people are doing favors. Sometimes we don't really know what type of favor they are doing, but their favors are being reached to us. For example, those who are working behind the scene day and night in television channels, in the masajid, giving iftar, they themselves are not having, behind in the parking lots, trying to help mu'mineen and mu'minat. Really, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them tawfiqat, increase their tawfiqat, accept their du'as and fasting, inshallah, and keep them on iman. Keep them on iman and make that akhirat waqtim li bis sa'adah, as we ask, make our khatm, our ending, in sa'adat, in felicity, inshallah. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again tomorrow, and few days of these du'as are remaining, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.